Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video will be a follow-up to my earlier Anakin Starkiller Luke Skywalker Return of the Jedi hero hilt that I uploaded at the beginning of the year. And basically what I will share with you today is the finishing of the kit. So if you haven't checked out my earlier video, I'll put a link in the comments, but let's pretty much get started here. So in the previous video, I had received this as a kit. It was unfinished, no color, did not assemble the control box, anything like that. So I was able to find some time, get this taken care of, and I'll just jump right into it and walk you through what I did. So let's start at the top. The gold portion here I painted with the Ace Hardware antique gold after quite a bit of research through members on the RPF. This was basically identified as the proper paint for this neck section here. For the grenade area, basically I used a Krylon satin black, sprayed the entire rib section here, and then what I did was to show off the rib portion, I believe I started off with some 400 grit sandpaper on a wood block to get some nice flat surfaces here, but basically started with 400, went to 800, 1000, and I might have ended at around 1200 grit just to polish it up and get it to the right nice even polished look that you see here. It's a little bit of a matte, maybe not polished, but basically all of the scratches I think are removed, so that looks pretty nice. Both of these sections here I have not clear coated yet. So far it's been holding up nicely. This is just a static version at the moment, so there's not much handling, but I think when the time comes, if I need to, I could always put on some clear coat. So that's those two sections there. For the control box, the rails here are also painted in the same Ace Hardware antique gold. The card here is a sloth furnace card, and no modifications were needed. Basically just slides right in. There you see it there. Sloth furnace ROTJ hero. So the measurements that these guys did for the control box, for all of these pieces, the box, I mean, they fit perfectly. So no modifications there, which is a good, it's a welcome step to not have to deal with. Inside the control box, you can see, let me see if I get the light better. This gray piece was white. I painted it with some gray color through an airbrush just to keep, keep the paint thickness down. Basically, it's just attached to the hilt through those two screws. LEDs are installed. Kind of see it through there. I believe I just attached some E6000 just to keep it in there secure. These black Delrin rectangles are static at the moment, but they can be made functional. The back of them have holes which I've tapped with a 4mm tap, and then I got some, those used to be Phillips panhead screws, also 4mm, but I had to severely modify them, so I made them square, basically almost cut the head off in half just to clear clear that particular bolt right there. So there's not a whole lot of clearance there, but by shaving this off down, I was able to get that all to fit. So I think that ends up looking pretty nicely. And the nice thing here is the card here slides right in. There's just enough friction where the card will not slide out. yet can be easily removed. There you go. And then I think the last piece here is with this tri-ring. The thickness, the wire thickness of the ring is a little bit too thick for that hole in that cube. So instead of reaming out that hole or widening it, I decided to thin out the wire of the tri-ring to make it fit. And then I also weathered the tri-ring with some aluminum black just to age it a little bit. It doesn't resemble the prop perfectly, but I think it's fair enough representation for now. So that was probably the biggest challenge out of all of this. Yeah, so there you go. You can take a look at this, and I think it turned out quite nicely. So, and then in the back there, you'll see this is my Sabers KRHero, and we'll do a little quick side-by-side here. So the Luke also has a sloth furnace card. So you see that there. It will focus, but you get it. And this one actually has copper rails, this kind of copper insert, if you will. Yeah, on this version, these are both static, but on this version, that hole there holds one momentary button, this one holds another momentary button, and so the activation and the auxiliary functions are controlled by those two buttons. This is just the black buttons, let's say, are just a decorative piece there. So, but the rails here are real copper, and this just slides right in. Oh, by the way, there's a couple grub screws there that you can adjust the tension of how this slides in. So, but I believe on the KR this came already anodized black, so that's nice. The neck piece is copper, so I had removed that before, and so it'll tarnish a little on its own. But basically, you'll see the two. So this antique gold obviously looks a lot more yellowish. The rails, of course, they look copper because I believe that's what they are, real copper. And then you can see that the paint job on the neck makes it look yellow compared to the copper neck of the KRHero. There you go. But yeah. Oh, I think the biggest difference between these two is the grenade section. So the KR Sabers here, you can see the rings are very symmetrical and evenly spaced. It is more of a canon, or no, sorry, not canon, idealized version of what the Saber looks like. The Anakin Starkiller version, you can see there are rings of different widths. So you have the thin ones like this here, and here you have a thicker one there, etc. So this, the Anakin grenade section would be more canon, if you will. KR more idealized. All right, so that's basically what they look like side by side. But overall, I mean, if you're 10-20 feet away, they all look pretty much the same. Like I said, both of these are static at the moment. KR has a bunch of Goth chassis that are currently available for installs. The Anakin, I'm not sure if there's any chassis currently available specifically for this. I know there's a few different ones in development right now, but since these are both static, I'm not so concerned about that at the moment. And then I think the last part here, we'll stand these two up and we'll do kind of a little bit of a comparison from a height standpoint. So just kind of bear with me and we'll get this set up. Okay, so you could tell they're both sitting on the mat, and the Anakin on the right does look a little bit taller than the KR Saber. We'll just do a quick rundown. Alright guys, I think this really is about it. So thank you guys for watching this video. Hope it helps, and take care guys. Bye.